Welcome to 4.4. We are going to be talking about factoring quadratic expressions. So we're going to factor trinomials into a product of two binomials. We're going to factor using a difference of squares and using GCF. So first and foremost, when we talk about GCF, remember that this is always your first step. So GCF means greatest common factor. So we're looking at what's the biggest thing that these two or however many terms have in common. So for number one, 18 and 27 are both divisible by 9. That's the largest number that they have in common. And then each one also has an x. So I'm going to take a 9x out, and then that leaves me with 2x plus 3. So that 9x would be my GCF. If I look at number 2, 10x squared minus 4x. So again, I can see they each have x's, so I'm definitely going to take one x out. And then the greatest common factor between 10 and 4 would just be 2. So I'm going to take out 2x, and that leaves me with 5x minus 2. Whatever you have left in your parentheses here, this should be you shouldn't be able to factor that anymore if you do this GCF correctly. Okay, remember, anytime we factor, regardless of the situation, if there is a GCF, you should take that out first. Okay, so difference of squares, that's one type of factoring that we can use. It needs to be a binomial. There needs to be subtraction in the middle. Binomial, just in case you're not sure, that means there's two terms. A trinomial would be 3 terms. Those two terms have to be separated by subtraction, and then both terms have to be perfect squares. So a squared minus b squared is what it will look like. So like, let's say x squared minus 9, something like that, and that would factor to a plus b, a minus b. Or in the example of x squared minus 9, we take the square root of both. So x squared is just x times x. And then 9 is 3 and 3, and we do 1 plus 1 minus because that allows for our middle term to end up disappearing, canceling out, and we end up with the minus at the end. Okay, so let's get into some factoring. X squared minus 81. So here's a perfect example. We see a binomial, two terms separated by subtraction. X squared and 81 are both perfect squares, so this is a difference of squares. This would be x and x, right? Is x squared and 81 is 9 is the square root of that. So one would be x plus 9, one would be x minus 9. Okay, same at 9x squared minus 25. There's no GCF, so there's nothing we can factor out first. But if I look at 9 is a perfect square, x squared is a perfect square, 25 is a perfect square, and we have a binomial separated by subtraction. So the square root of 9x squared is 3x, and the square root of 25 is 5, and then one's going to be plus, one's going to be minus. There's your difference of squares. One more, same thing with 64x squared minus 81. 64x squared is a perfect square. That would be 8x. 81 is 9. Okay, so again, there's 3 examples of difference of squares. If you struggle with knowing what all the perfect squares are, one suggestion is to just write those down like at the top of your paper. And so when we say perfect squares, we mean anything times itself. So 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 4 is 16, 5 times 5 is 25, okay, so on and so forth. So if you don't know those numbers off the top of your head, I would recommend writing them on your paper while you're trying to do these problems, just for quick reference. Okay, 4x squared minus 16. So again, we see a perfect square and a perfect square and a minus sign in the middle. So this is also difference of squares. So 4x squared, the square root of that is 2x. 16 is 4. So it's going to be 2x plus 4, 2x minus 4. Okay, if I look at this next one, x squared plus 9, I see a perfect square and a perfect square, but if you notice, I have a plus in the middle, and for difference of squares, the keyword is difference, so we need to see that subtraction. Okay, so this is not factorable. because we need that minus sign in the middle here. Okay, now this next one, it looks kind of like a difference of squares because we see the two terms, we see the subtraction in the middle, but 8 and 50 are not perfect squares. This is where we need to recall, we need to use our GCF. So if I look at 8 and 50, I can pull out a 2 there, right? And so that leaves me with x squared minus 25. Oops, sorry. If I pull out a 2, I'm still left with 4x squared minus 25. So now 4 and 25 are perfect squares. So now that I factored out the 2, now I have perfect squares. So it's going to be 2 parentheses, 2x plus 5, 2x minus 5. Okay, and so again, we saw that it looked similar to difference of squares, but 8 and 50 aren't those perfect squares. However, when I take out the GCF of 2, those perfect squares appear. Okay, here's some examples. These are trinomials, 3 terms that we're just going to factor. We don't use difference of squares with this. We just use our factoring rules. So remember, they need to, whatever terms we're using, have to add to 6 and multiply to 8. So x squared, I start with x and x, and if I'm looking for factors of 8, I could have 8 and 1 or 4 and 2, but only one of those is going to add to 6. So I know that has to be x plus 4, x plus 2. Okay, same with the other one, the next one. They have to add to negative 5, multiply to 6. So if I'm looking at factors of 6, I have 6 and 1 or 3 and 2. Well, 3 and 2 can certainly make 5. The difference is here we have a minus in the middle and a plus at the end. And so that tells us, if I'm setting this up, I'm going to have x and x for my x squared. When I have a minus in the middle, but a plus at the end, both of my factors are going to have a minus, because a minus plus a minus makes a minus, but a minus times a minus is a positive. Okay, and then to get 5, I need a 3, and I need a 2. And if you're ever unsure, to verify if this is correct, we're just going to FOIL it back out. So x times x is x squared, x times negative 2 is negative 2x, negative 3 times x is negative 3x, negative 3 times 2 is positive 6, and then I combine like terms, and that does get me back to where I started. So that what I just did in red there, that's a check. We don't have to do that, but that's how we would check to see if our factoring was correct. Okay, last one on this page, I'm looking for two numbers that add to negative 2 that multiply to negative 15. Okay, so again, let's start with x and x. Now, key here, we have a minus and a minus, which means we're going to have 1 minus, 1 plus, because the only way to get a negative value when we multiply is to have one of each. So factors of 15, I have 1, 15, and then I have 3 and 5. Okay, well, 3 and 5 can get a 2. So if I want a negative 2, that means the bigger value has to be negative. So it's going to be x minus 5, x plus 3. And again, to verify that, I could FOIL. X times x is x squared. That looks good. Then I would have a positive 3x and a negative 5x, which gives me the negative 2. Negative 5 times 3 is negative 15. One more page of examples. First one here, 3x squared minus 6x minus 24. Before I do anything, we should see that all 3 of these terms are divisible by 3. So that is a GCF. So I'm going to take that out, and I get x squared minus 2x minus 8. And that just makes my factoring a little bit easier because I don't have to worry about getting that 3 x squared, and I just have the x squared now. So I have 3 outside. I'm still going to have x and x because that's how I get x squared. Now I'm looking, again, what adds to negative 2, what multiplies to negative 8. When I see 2 minuses there, I know one's positive, one's negative. For 8, I have 1 and 8, or 2 and 4. So 2 and 4 is going to have to work. I need the 4 to be negative and the 2 to be positive, because that gives me a negative 2x in the middle. Next one. Anytime you see something in front of the x squared like this, that's kind of a clue that your first thought should be to try to factor out a GCF. It doesn't always work, but in this case, we can take out a negative, and that leaves me with x squared minus 10x plus 25. And so again, that just makes it a little bit easier to factor because we took out that GCF. So now I still have an x and an x. Because I have a minus and a plus, that tells me I need a minus and a minus, because again, that's the only way to add two things together to get a negative, but multiply those same two things together to get a positive. And then factors of 25 are 1 and 25, or 5 and 5. And 5 and 5 can certainly make 10, which is what we need in the middle. So that's your answer there. Last one, like I said, we're going to look for a GCF first because there's that value in front of x squared. However, 7 and 3 are not divisible by 2, so there is no GCF for this one. So that means when I start my factoring, I'm going to have a 2x and an x, because that's the only way that I can get a 2x squared when I multiply. So now this gets a little bit more complicated, because I'm still looking for what adds to this and what multiplies to this. However, I have to factor in this 2 when I think about how things are going to work out. The nice thing here is that factors of 3 are only 1 and 3, and so we only have those two numbers to work with. Plus and plus tells me that I'm going to have, let's do this in pen. I'm going to have a plus and a plus. So again, that makes things easier for us. Now we just have to figure out, is it 2x plus 1 and x plus 3, or is it 2x plus 3 and x plus 1? And again, the way that we do that is we think about what would it get if we were to multiply it back out. So if in this first one, when I FOIL, I would do 2x times x, which is 2x squared, that's good. Then I would take 2x times 3, which is 6x, and then I would take 1 times x, which is x. And that does get me 7x. Okay, when I look at this one that I have on the bottom, I would take 2x times 1, that's 2x, and 3 times x, which is just 3x, so that would only give me 5x. Okay, so that tells me that that is not the right answer, that this top one is. So I'll rewrite it just so we're clear. So it's going to be 2x plus 1 times x plus 3. That would be my final answer. Okay, so factoring, a lot of it is just knowing the process, but then there may also be some trial and error. So we're just going to do a lot of practice with this and hopefully get the hang of it.